On the morning of the 3rd of June 1998, a German family was enjoying their train journey while sipping coffee. This high-speed train was travelling from Munich to Hamburg. It was around 10:30 in the morning, and everything seemed normal.
But just 12 minutes later, the family was terrified when a piece of steel suddenly tore through the floor, shooting straight up between their seats. But this was just the beginning. The beginning of the most dangerous accident in German high-speed train history. Welcome back to the American Rewind. Viewers, in the late 1950s, Japan shocked the world when its Shinkansen, the bullet train, became the world's first high-speed train. This train connected cities across the country and made travel so fast that long journeys were reduced from hours to minutes. Following Japan's success, France and Italy built their own high-speed rail systems, and Germany was not far behind. Germany launched its own high-speed project, which they named ICE, Intercity Express. When these trains appeared in the 1980s, the world believed this was the future of rail travel. Everything imaginable was considered: aerodynamic design, modern computers, and unmatched comfort. Everything seemed perfect. But within every perfect system lies a hidden weakness. And the weakness of the ICE trains was their wheels. The first generation of ICE trains used monoblock wheels, made from a single solid piece of steel. These wheels were strong, cheap, and reliable. However, a problem was soon noticed. After a few years, passengers began complaining that the train produced a strange vibration at high speed. In the buffet car, glasses, plates, and spoons would rattle due to this vibration. These vibrations made the journey unpleasant. When engineers inspected the trains, they discovered the issue was inside the wheels. Although monoblock wheels were made from one balanced piece of steel, even a 5-gram difference on one side could cause vibrations at high RPM. And exactly this was happening. Friction at high speeds was wearing down certain parts of the wheel unevenly, making the wheel unbalanced. At low speed, this imbalance wasn't noticeable. But at 250 kilometers per hour, the imbalance produced vibrations felt throughout the train. This is a common problem for any wheel. Even a car wheel with 2 puncture patches on one side becomes slightly heavier, causing vibrations at high speed. The solution is wheel balancing, where a technician adds equal weight to the opposite side to fix the imbalance. But balancing dozens of huge train wheels, especially when they are a single solid piece, is extremely complicated. Replacing the whole wheel is also difficult and very expensive. So German engineers introduced a new solution: resilient wheels. Resilient wheels were not one solid piece. The inner ring and outer ring were separate, with a rubber layer between them to absorb vibrations. This design had another advantage. If the outer wheel wore out, only the outer part needed replacement, not the entire wheel. Germany's trams were already using this design. However, trams run at 30 kilometers per hour, while ICE trains run at 250 kilometers per hour. This was a serious issue, and you will soon see why. But at that time, nobody paid attention. Executives approved the new resilient wheel design without proper testing, and by 1992, all ICE high-speed trains were fitted with these wheels. For a few years, everything seemed fine. But in 1997, the Hanover tram company Ustra discovered something shocking: cracks in their wheels. They replaced the cracked parts and warned Deutsche Bahn, Germany's national railway company. But since the ICE trains were not showing vibration complaints at that time, Deutsche Bahn ignored the warning. And exactly 1 year later, on June 3, 1998, everything changed.
At 10:30 a.m., ICE train 884 departed Hanover Station for Hamburg. The train had 14 cars, 2 power cars and 12 passenger coaches. Inside were 287 passengers and 8 crew members. Everything was normal when the train left the station.
In coach number 1, George Dittman was traveling with his family. They were enjoying their journey when suddenly something struck the floor. The next moment, a sharp steel fragment tore through the floor between 2 seats. This piece was actually part of a broken wheel. Seeing this, George and his family panicked. The speed at which that metal shot upward, if it had been just slightly left or right, the family would not have survived. George immediately moved his wife and children to the next compartment and went to find the conductor. The conductor was in coach number 3. George explained everything, but company policy would not allow the conductor to stop the train until he saw the problem himself. So both started walking toward coach number 1. The train was still running at 200 kilometers per hour, and the vibrations were slowly increasing. By the time they reached the first coach, the train had traveled 3 more kilometers and was approaching a dangerous section where the track split. The broken piece of the wheel was still hanging under the train, scraping against the track. As the train crossed the first switch, the loose wheel fragment struck the track lever, switching the tracks. At that moment, a deadly situation emerged. White heavy checkmark the first and second coaches went onto one track. White heavy checkmark the third coach was diverted onto another. The front and rear of the train were now pulling in opposite directions. The train body twisted violently, and coach number 3 smashed directly into a bridge's concrete pillar. The horrific collision destroyed half the bridge. Coach No. 4 slipped past the collapsing structure but crashed into an embankment, killing 3 railway workers instantly. Coaches 5 and 6 were crushed under 300 tons of concrete, their height reduced to only 6 inches. The remaining coaches, 7, 8, 9, and 10, slammed into each other at full speed, folding like paper. Only the first 2 coaches, where George and his family were, survived. The front locomotive continued for 3 more kilometers before stopping. When coach number 3 hit the bridge, the driver and engineer felt a jolt, but they had no idea of the unimaginable disaster unfolding behind them. The accident occurred near a small town named Eschede. When the residents heard the explosion-like noise, they rushed to the site. What they saw was a nightmare: shattered coaches, twisted steel, fire, and screams. Some people were trapped under debris, others stuck in their seats. The pressure-proof windows were so strong that breaking them was nearly impossible. Rescue workers brought heavy machinery, but it still took hours to reach victims. More than 1,000 rescue workers, ambulances, and military doctors arrived. Even 40 doctors from a nearby medical conference rushed to the scene. But by then, the damage was done. 101 people died. 88 were seriously injured. Nearly 100 suffered minor injuries. Only those in the first 2 cars survived. Germany's high-speed trains, once considered the safest in the world, had their reputation shattered by the Eschede disaster, which shocked not only Germany but France, Italy, Japan, and every country using high-speed rail. Investigators first suspected a vehicle might have been on the tracks. But when they found the wheel fragment inside coach number 1, the truth became clear. Log records showed that the same wheel had previously reported a flat spot 8 times, yet it was never replaced. Machines capable of detecting cracks existed, but inspections were still being done manually with flashlights. The railway company dismissed concerns, claiming the machines produced false alarms. In 1992, a German research organization Fraunhofer warned that resilient wheels were dangerous for high-speed trains. In 1997, the Hanover Tram Company repeated the warning. Both warnings were ignored. Engineers later explained, these wheels rotated 500,000 times every day at high speed. With every rotation, the steel compressed and expanded slightly, creating fatigue cracks that kept growing. The rubber layer absorbed vibrations, hiding the warning signs, so no one realized the wheels were cracking. Finally, on June 3, 1998, the failure of a single wheel caused this massive tragedy. The Eschede disaster is considered the deadliest high-speed train accident in the world. After this tragedy, all high-speed trains replaced resilient wheels with monoblock wheels. Bridges near junction points were relocated, pressure-proof windows were redesigned to be breakable in emergencies. Germany re-evaluated its entire rail safety system. Even today, the Eschede disaster is taught in Germany's railway training centers as a case study. Monoblock wheels may require more maintenance, but being solid, they are far less likely to break, and vibrations act as early warnings. We hope you will like and share this video from the American Rewind. Thank you for your support and kind comments. See you in the next amazing video.